there's a lot of power in not knowing, right? So basically, what I've realized this last week, and I would love for people to correct me if I'm wrong, I really feel like we as a society we put so much emphasis on the right thing at the right time, the right place, knowing the right things. Like, the society is so unwilling to be wrong, and it's almost frowned upon to like be wrong about certain things. And I think that our previous generations, our parents, grandparents, they understood the value of learning. They understood the value of what it means to be wrong and how that's not a bad thing. Every conversation, all the discourse, all the debates that, our grandparents, our parents used to have was for the ultimate goal of being right, being correct accurately. And it was not an issue if you were wrong. We didn't like condemn or like, what's the word? Like, we didn't like hate on somebody if they had like the wrong opinion about something or the wrong idea. We would correct them. Obviously, if you doubled down on your wrong and you weren't able to see that you were wrong, then we have names for those people. But in general, most people, in my opinion, it might just be the propaganda of looking at the media back in the day and thinking that they were better than what we are today, which is a lot of different instances. I think other than that, I think we definitely lost a bit of our democracy, our diploma, our di- diplomacy. I mean, a lot of our ability to accurately assess situations and accurately assess ourselves in ways that make us all around better. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like, but there's a lot of like benefits to being wrong. A lot of benefits to being wrong. A lot of benefits to not knowing, especially in life, like your path. Like, we I feel like there's so much emphasis again on like, what are you gonna do after high school? What are you gonna do after college? What are you gonna do in the workforce? What are you gonna do when you don't like your job anymore? And if you've really stopped and looked around at the successful people in the world and the famous people in the world, or whoever else you're looking out to, not necessarily up to, looking out to, you start to realize that a lot of them have similar stories where they stumbled on success, right? They stumbled on the next phase of their life. They had a goal that they really really wanted, and they wanted with everything in them, and it didn't work out. So they transitioned and the thing found them. They typically didn't find it. And I don't know if that's like, if you guys have noticed that. Maybe it's just the people that I'm looking at. If you guys have anybody else that you've noticed have a similar type of situation, it really starts to become fascinating that like maybe you can't plan what is not supposed to be planned. And maybe that's just life in general. If you plan your life too much, if you get it, a lot of them who plan their life thoroughly end up not liking it. How many times have obviously in college, like you would plan to like, I'm going to be the major in psychology. And then you get into the psychology program and you're like, I don't like it at all. And then you drop out and switch it. Or you take a year off from college and do something else. It's like that every step of the way. It never really gets better, never really changes. And to sum it up, the era of our parents staying in jobs 25, 30 years, retiring, and then going off on their beach property or their cabin into the sunset does not exist for us anymore. If you haven't noticed, you're not staying at a job 20, 25 years. The company will not keep you. And there's a statistic, especially in the technology field, where if you stay in a job over 2.5, 3 years, you're actually earning less money than if you switched and upgraded and went to a different company for a higher up position. There's a lot of merit in not staying stagnant, and the numbers are finally supporting that. So if you take anything from this video, it's that have fun not knowing. Don't be stressed too much about what you think you should be doing at the specific moment in time, because if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, taking care of yourself, showing up, working and perfecting your gifts, talents, your purpose while you are here, it's going to find you. It's going to find you. And if you're in disbelief that it's going to find you, Now you know your issue is trust. And that's maybe the next topic for the next video, is we'll dive into what it really means to have trust issues. And it's not the surface level, like, I don't believe it when people speak. I don't believe it when people say this. It's a lot of layers to trust that people don't realize. I'd love to talk about that with you guys. Maybe we can have a little dialogue about it, but until next time.